Well, wasn't that exciting? The cheetahs chasing, we've had leopards hunting. It's all been very, very cool this afternoon. We've been spoilt. But there you can see another spotted bum chasing off after something, and that's Tumba that's busy chasing something. I don't know what he went after, but he sounds like he went after something. I have no idea. What is down there? Looks like there's something else around. I'm just going to try and get into position, but he definitely went after something, so I don't know what he's chased after. We just got into this Tumba sighting, and it seems as though he's busy hunting as well, so it's just action, action, action all the way, which is hectic, but awesome at the same time. Now, where did you go, Tumba? I've lost him completely now. I'll try sneak in here. This is the last time I saw him, was just here, but I can't see down. I'm not sure what he chased and where he's gone. He must be directly below me here. There's a very steep gully that he could be in, but I can't see any. Can you see him, Senzo? Must I go back? Okay, so Senzo says he can see him from where he is. I might be a little bit low, that's why I can't see. I'm going to try and just turn you a little bit, Senzo, so that the bonnet's not in the way. Like that. Is that better? So Senzo, I think, can see him. I can't at the moment, but somewhere down below here is a leopard. Oh, there he is. There's little Tumba. What you doing down there? Are you going to come back up and say hello? There he comes. Hey, boy. He's got to be one of the most beautiful individuals. He's just sniffing around. What is around here? Because there's apparently a hyena lurking too. I don't know if maybe he had a food source or he was chasing something. The way he's looking into the trees, it would suggest that he chased something maybe like a squirrel. That could be possible. Maybe a squirrel that was just going home to roost after a long night. So it could be that's what he was after. I can hear a squirrel alarm calling next to me here. So it must be that he chased. And that's why he's looking up into the trees trying to work out where's the squirrel gone. And he'll be surviving with little squirrels and various other things, but you can see he's also not exactly that unrelaxed with the vehicles. Hello, boy. Look how beautiful this cat is. Look at those eyes. You do have the most mesmerizing face, you know that. And off he goes again. And he's also not too skinny, given that we don't think he's been with Mom for quite a while. Rocky, Tumba's probably, I would say, about 400 meters to the north of where Hosana is, up the Mulawati drainage line, but not far at all. It seems to be that the two of them are hanging around in this general vicinity. I wonder if he's going to go up the tree for us. Are you going to climb the tree? Looks like he might go up. He's busy looking up the tree to see if I think he can spot any sign of the squirrel. The squirrel is on, I can hear, is not here. It's on the other side of this drainage line. So I wonder if there was another one that ran up here. But it looks like he might go up. No, now he's sniffing. Can hear the squirrel in the background. Oh, big yawn. And his movement is slowly south, so as much as he's moving around here, his general movement for the day has been south apparently. But the tracks that I had was around Spaghetti Junction, and that's north of us, and he's moved kind of down this area. So I wonder if he's not slowly but surely making his way down towards Twin Dams, and we might see another Hosana-Tumba interaction at some point. I don't think tonight is going to happen, because Tumba is interested in something. He wants to hunt whatever was around here. I think it maybe is a squirrel that he's busy looking for. So I think he's going to be waylaid for a while, and we know that Hosana is watching those impalas, and so he's probably in all likelihood going to be heading southwards. So I don't think it's going to be tonight, but maybe tomorrow. If it's hot, the two of them might come together at Twin Dams again, which will be interesting to see how that plays out. But both boys are completely unscathed by their last interaction. Mr. P, you're asking if Tumba is totally independent. Mr. P, I'm not sure. From what we've seen, we haven't seen him with Tundi for quite some time now, so I have no idea. I don't know if Tundi's decided to leave him. Tundi's been very elusive of late. It's been difficult. What are you stalking? There's something moving down below here. Here it comes. What is this? Is it a hyena? I think there's a hyena down below here that he's busy watching. There's something moving. I can't see what it is. Senzo, can you see? It looks like I can hear leaf litter moving, but I know the guys saw a hyena just now, and he was moving towards it, I think hoping that there was a duiker or something coming up the drainage, but it looks as though it's something else, because he just sort of stopped all of a sudden and backpedaled. I don't know. Maybe it's something else. I'd be surprised if he would approach a hyena. Look, he's snarling. It must be a hyena. He's growling and hissing. Don't go towards it. Tumba, what are you doing? So he's gone over the front of my bonnet here, and I really can't move anywhere further than where I am now. You can just see the tip of his head on top. The hyena just chased him. So the hyena is just here on our left now. I'm not sure which hyena it is just yet, but the hyena probably thinks that Tumba's got a kill here, given that this leopard has probably been moving around in this general vicinity for quite some time. There's a little face peering over the bonnet. Or maybe Tumba does have a kill and this hyena's already stolen it and eaten it and now looking for more. But like I said, don't know who it is yet. When it comes past on the left here, we might be able to get a better idea as to who this is. Although it's using the cover of the car quite a lot at the moment. So Lou says it looks like our bin raider, which would be Ribbon or Gwen, but I think I'm not 100% sure now. She's going to walk straight into Tumba. There goes Tumba running off. At least Tumba's going into a more open clearing. So hold on, this hyena is harassing Tumba, and I don't know if we're going to be able to keep up with Tumba at all. I'm trying to get out of here, but it's very difficult terrain to move fast, that's for sure. Just careful your head there, Senzo. Good, Senzo. Just hope they don't go down into this drainage, because if they go into the drainage, for me it's going to be very difficult to follow them. I'm not going to be able to go in there, but let's just check earpiece. Yeah, earpiece is okay, because otherwise I'm going to get in big trouble if I then lose an earpiece. There goes the hyena again. I don't know where Tumba ran off to. He ran off this way. Going to try sneak through this little gap. Whether I'm going to be able to get this right, I'm not quite sure. Come on, Wendy. Small Wendy, small Wendy. There we go. Prism Echo, you say perhaps there's a kill in one of the trees. Maybe. The way this hyena is striding around, it could be possible. But don't forget that Tumba's been spending a lot of time here. I've been seeing his tracks every day for the last 4 days, and maybe this hyena just thinks because it's picking up so much scent of leopard that maybe it does have a kill. But it's striding off now northwards and into the bush, and we'll try and see if we can find Tumba again. I have a funny feeling Tumba's really run, and there's no sign of him. I can't see. Can you see him? Okay, so at least Senzo can see him. That's great news. But I'm surprised at how brave little Tumba was with that whole process, and how he kind of went towards the hyena and growled and hissed and stood his ground, which is really amazing to watch. I'm pretty impressed with the young lad. He's shown that he's not really scared of anybody. He doesn't take anyone's nonsense. He's gone after... He's going to come this side. Okay. So we're just going to park here in front so we can see him coming out. So he seems as though he doesn't take anybody's nonsense. He seems to be alright to go after him. He walked up to Hosanna. Even though he played submissive, he still walked straight towards Hosanna and wasn't in any way fussed by him. But that's a beautiful view there. Now sit on top here for us. There we go. How's that? Thank you, buddy. So he's sitting perfectly on top, exactly the way we wanted him to. So I'm just going to change the lighting so we have a bit more of a floodlight, and that makes it a lot easier, and I don't have to have such a bright light on him, and we can see him nice and clearly. But how beautiful is that? You can't ask for much more when you want to see a leopard than an open little mound, and in this thicket he has chosen the best spot for us to watch him. Thank you very much. Now, the hyena seems to have moved off completely, but our two boys are very pretty, both of them. Proud wildcat mama, it depends on the mom. Sometimes you'll find it's early on, around sort of 14 months. Other times they'll keep them a little bit longer, just towards 2 years and up, a little bit over 2 years. Generally, though, it's between 14 months and 2 years that we see cats going off on their own and becoming independent. It would be quite interesting if Tandy's left him now, because this was very early. He's only about a year old. Typical Tumba, always looking in the sky and looking for things. So it would be interesting if she has left him. I suppose he's actually a little bit more than a year old now. He's about 13, 14. He's now about 15 months almost. So he's getting to that age, I suppose, and it is time to leave him. So I wonder if Tandy is now on her own mission, and that's why we haven't seen too much of her. Maybe she's tracking around, scent marking as she preps now to start mating heavily and to start maybe denning once again. So it'll be interesting to see what the movement is over the next little bit, but certainly this guy is spending more and more and more and more and more time on his own. The best part about it is that she's left him here in the middle of Djuma, so he's right in the center of Djuma at the moment. Tingana doesn't seem too stressed by his appearance and his tracks that are around. We saw Tingana, and where we're sitting right now is exactly maybe 10 meters north of where Tingana and Kuchava were mating the last few days, or a few days ago, should I say. And so they picked up his scent, and you could see Tingana wasn't too fazed by it. He carried on, wasn't too sort of worried. And so that means that Tumba, who seems to not travel big distances at all, we seem to find him sitting in the same places, that potentially we're going to have the most epic time with this little boy over the next couple months, because I'm hoping that he's not going to explore too much, and that he's going to be just like Hosana, and that he's going to spend a lot of time around the central parts of Djuma, because if we can have these two boys on a regular basis, we are going to be absolutely spoiled. Both of them are probably two of the prettiest leopards that we've got in this northern Sabi Sand sector, and both of them are characters in their own right. Hosana is fast developing into this incredible leopard that is able to hunt and is establishing himself. And Tumba's still a little bit younger, so he's a lot more playful, and you can see it when he watches the squirrels in the trees, or when he goes towards hyenas, or when he looks as the birds fly over, and seems to have these big wondering curious eyes. And so they've both got these kind of different demeanors, but yet they provide us with such incredible sightings that we are seriously spoiled to have these two here. And the fact that Tumba has come to Djuma has really been a godsend for us in a way, because with the disappearance of Kruger at one stage, what's he seen now? Maybe this hyena is back again. Because with the disappearance of Kruger at one stage, our leopard sightings became tough. It was not easy for us. There was not really that many leopards around, and so we struggled when it came to leopards. And now, at least with this one and Hosana, we've had a lot more kind of luck and a lot more time spent with our leopards. All right, well, we can't see anything down there. It's not going to even be possible to negotiate that, so I'm going to try go round again. Hopefully he'll head back towards where we are now, and that we'll be able to get him back on this little mound, because that's the ideal place. I've also got to watch that I don't spike my own leg off on this knobthorn. And hit Wendy. Sorry, Wendy. Right, here we go. I can't believe the temperature difference, though, between yesterday and today. It is quite phenomenal how much warmer it is. Oh, there he is. He's right out in the open now, which is good news. So hopefully we're going to see him kind of tracking around this area. I just want to go around so I can see him coming through this clearing. Philip, you're asking, is a lone hyena a representative of more hyenas being nearby, or how common is it to have just one lone hyena? Well, it's very common to have lone hyenas, Philip. So how it works is, even though hyenas are clan animals, they spend a lot of their time, oh, look at him posing, they spend a lot of their time on their own. So what they do is they move around and separate at night, and everyone goes in a different direction, and that means that they can cover a lot more of the clan's territory and domain in order to search for food for everybody. And so that's why they spend a lot of time in separate kind of units. Let's go forward for you, Senzo. And so it's very, very common to see them on their own like this. It's really not that uncommon to see a hyena by himself and to watch them move around on their own. I just want to scan around in case there's maybe something he's stalking. I don't see anything at this stage. Poor Tumba, though, has been harassed by hyenas this week. He made his first impala kill a few days ago, and hyenas unfortunately stole it. So I feel sorry for him in a way, because unfortunately that was his first big kill that we know of, and they seem to be still harassing him. And this is what happens when they stay in the same place for some time. Hyenas almost get expectant that there is food, and that's why they then come and harass and check around and walk around this area to try and find it. It also means that if he does make a kill, hyenas are generally quite close by, and then they're going to try and come at him and try and actually steal it away. So he needs to move a little bit more than what he is at the moment. He seems to be moving within, I would say, not even a 500-meter squared grid or block. So he needs a lot more kind of movement, and it's no wonder we didn't spot him up here. If you have a look at this vegetation behind him, so there's a very dense, thick wall of vegetation, all of this. Just on the other side of that, if I peer through these branches, in some places I can just see the sand of the Mulawati. So even if he was lying 50 meters, or not even 20 meters from the Mulawati drainage, you will never see him if he's lying up here. And just that's the thing, is that so this morning we saw his tracks, and I just had to follow them a little bit further, and we would have found him as well. So it's okay. Made it better for this afternoon. Make up for this morning. 2 leopards, we can even it out and make it 1-1. And at least it continues our run on Djuma for another day with cats. So we're now broken the unlucky 13. Tomorrow will be day 14 that we will try and find cats. And with Tumba being where he is right now, I'm pretty certain he's going to be somewhere in this general vicinity. I highly doubt he's going to move too far from where he is now. I don't think, unless Tundi comes here and drags him to a kill, which I doubt, given that she hasn't done that in the last week, then I think we're in for Tumba being exactly where he is now. Look at that beautiful long tail. You can see a little black tip to it, and then the white underneath. So the reason why the white doesn't go on top of the tail is so that when they're walking, it still camouflages somewhat. The back part of the tail will be white so that there's a following signal, but when it's black tip like that, is just to be able to try and camouflage as well as possible. Fortunately, he's chosen a very bad spot to lie down. So I'm going to try and see if I can find a better way to see his face. But while we do that, I believe Brent Leo Smith is back with us and is following some sausages. Well, it was. Unfortunately, we lost sight of the bush baby. Tumba gave it a little snarl as it jumped around above us and then disappeared into these big, tall trees. So he's now down towards the Mulawati riverbed, and he was very upset at the bush baby because it was out of his reach. And it seems like he just wants to make friends with everybody. He's followed hyenas around. He's been all over the place this afternoon, and that's why I love spending time with this cat. He's always busy. He's never a cat that spends a lot of time just sitting, and he likes to kind of move around. You see he's sniffing. I wonder if he didn't have a carcass here that was stolen from him. The way that he's like sniffing and he's loop backing on himself again, it's interesting behavior. So it seems like he's going to move towards the Mulawati and back to where I had his tracks this morning, exactly where I had his tracks. Right, so Lou says he has PTSD from the other day with Sana. Now, hold on, Senzo, this is very, very steep down here, and there's a few branches, so careful your head. Oh, sorry, Senzo, you're right. Very good. So, there we go. Car's at an awkward angle. I'm about to slide off my seat and fall out. Hopefully not. There we go. We're good? We're good? Alright, good. Just got to make sure Senzo's still on board. Don't want to lose Senzo in the thicket. Little Tumba, you've taken us on an adventure, that's for sure, buddy. I'm quite glad to be actually in the Mulawati, to be honest, so that I can see what I'm doing. Oh, hi, Bacon. You're asking if I think the 2 leopards would become buddies. No, I don't think so. They're, for now, both young individuals. They're unsure of what to do or where to go or who to be with, and so they're just still craving company of their mother and their, well, in Hasana's case, his sibling. And so that means that's why they kind of see each other and they're not too aggressive towards one another. But look at that. Is that not the cutest little face you could ever see? Hello, little boy. This is exactly where we had the other 2 mating. We're literally in the exact same spot now. And big teeth. Oh, look at that. There is very few things in this world as beautiful as a leopard strolling along on the banks of a riverbed. It is one of those experiences in life that will never get old for me, and one that I'll always want to experience. So let's let Tumba come down, because he clearly wants to lead the way by the looks of things. There we go, into the tire tracks. That's where they like to walk, and off he goes. So these are the tracks I keep finding every morning around this exact same spot. Every morning I've come here for the last 6-7 days, there's been tracks in this riverbed for this little guy. And so this is obviously where he's hanging out. And tomorrow morning, guess where we're going to be coming first thing in the morning? You guessed it, right here, which is fantastic. So super happy that he's around. I love this little cat and love spending time with him, and really have thoroughly enjoyed my afternoon with both the youngsters. They've been such an interesting study today. They've both displayed lots of interesting behavior. They've been a real treat, and we've been spoiled today. We really have been spoiled by these two little leopards, and I believe Jamie's been spoiled with the cheetahs on a hunt, and Brent with the lions that are now going to contemplate going after some buffalo or even wildebeest. Is going to be really interesting, and it's been a wonderful action-packed show. And once again, the cat trifecta. Who would have thought that would have been a common thing on Safari Live a few months ago before the Mara started? The Mara really does bring the lions and cheetahs into our world, and well, the leopards of the Sabi Sands. The leopards of the Sabi Sands continue to just provide the most ridiculous sightings for us here. Now, James, you say the Djuma cat streak continues. Congratulations. Well, thank you very much, James. It's no thanks to me. It's just the cats have been out and about, and we've been fortunate. We've been super lucky in that we've been managing to be in the right place at the right time, and well, it's been just the most absolute pleasure and a real treat for me to be able to show you guys all of these things. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time with these individuals over the last few weeks, and hopefully it continues. Hopefully we go on a really long cat streak, and Taylor and Steph and Byron and Ali and all of those that are coming in the next few weeks and months will also continue. But unfortunately, it's that time of the day where I need to start saying goodbye. We are winding down to the end of our drive, and Tumba is slowly just sitting in the middle of the Mulawati. So from Brent and Jamie and Taylor and all the camera ops to that side, I'm not sure who was even with any of them this afternoon, and Alison FC and Lou and Megan this side, and Senzo and myself. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we hope that you all have a wonderful evening or day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning on the Sunrise Safari.